I didn't have time to watch something a little longer today, but someone did recommend a show I have already seen, so I get to cheat today. Ha! Cheat day. And talk about a show, Community, which I really, really like. I'm a huge fan of this series. I watched it for the first time in college due to a class, and it got me hooked, and then I got other people hooked on it. But granted, other people get me hooked on shows too, so it all evens out. Anyways, Community is an ensemble show. It's about a group of people who have to put their lives back together by taking classes at a community college. You get all these different, a diverse group of characters, and you follow the main character, Jeff Winger, played by the very hilarious Joel McHale. He's a disbarred lawyer who has to get a legitimate degree in order to get his job back. So, and all the colorful characters he meets. He starts this study group by just trying to hook up with his classmate. Charming. And you get everybody else's backstory right away. What I really like is, for starters, I really like this casting. It works because of the casting. The writing is incredible, but the cast really brings it to life. They're all very funny, all very talented, and I really like that they all went on to do other stuff. I knew Yvette Nicole Brown, who I really like. I knew her from Drake and Josh, so yay, I already knew somebody. I was already familiar with somebody. Everyone else, they sell you right away. And I think there's one of the characters, Annie Edison, played by Alison Brie, is the closest representation to myself I have ever seen in fiction. So, flaws and all, they make fun of how girly girls will go, aww, when something's adorable, and god damn it, they get that so right. Frick. I do that. But overall, I really like, it's by one of the same creators behind Rick and Morty, Dan Harmon, who is a very talented writer. And the overall is, I like shows, especially sitcoms, that really have some human truth to it. You don't really get the same stock plots over and over again. You could tell there's a very intricate knowledge of film and pop culture in this, very similar to something like 30 Rock. And the way everyone works off each other, I like, it's really, really insightful on life. I like that, so Jeff is trying to, at least in the pilot, I think I'll probably talk mostly about the pilot, but Jeff is trying to essentially cheat his way and coast through community college, take the easy way out, and he's able to bribe his guidance counselor, student advisor, his advisor, played by John Oliver, who, by the way, yes, John Oliver, amazing, into giving him all the answers. It's later revealed to be a test. He's later conned by John Oliver, or Professor Duncan, but I'm calling him John Oliver because it's John Oliver, and who's trying to teach him. He's conned by him. He doesn't really have any of the answers, and I thought that was such a good metaphor. It's brilliant. It's not one of those pretentious metaphors. It feels like, yeah, okay, this is a really good analysis of somebody who's gotten through life on his smarts. He's been able to charm his way to the top, and that's gotten him through even well into adulthood, but it did catch up with him eventually. Now he has to finally work hard, and he doesn't know how. It's a really good character. I like him, but you also, they do make fun of community college a lot, because Dan Harmon, for what I know, it is based on Jeff Winger's based on a younger, more self-centered version of himself. The character he's going after, Britta, is supposedly based on an ex-girlfriend that he was trying to win back. And I like, it's fun. I don't know how true to the actual people they are. I obviously don't know Dan Harmon, but you can, I feel like if you know enough of someone's work, you could probably get a sense for who they are. I feel like all work is autobiographical in some sense. So you could see a bit of his character growth as well from behind the scenes. I think that's that'd be interesting. Maybe I'll stalk more of his work, see if I can put a piece of biography together and get the insight into the guy's head. Yeah, I'm gonna get to play this back and realize I lost my train of thought right now. But yes, Jeff, great character. But it's not, oh yeah, here's what I was saying. They're not just saying community college is a place for losers and lazy people. You have characters who do think that way, and, as I went to a 4-year college. Yeah, I'm from an area where, yeah, community college had that bit of a stigma to it. That's so you couldn't get into a real college. It's a loser college. It's such a bullshit way to think. You can save a lot of money by doing your gen eds at community college and then transferring, or even, and community college degrees are just as legitimate. You're still getting a good education. I like that you're not just getting, with this ensemble cast, you're not just getting losers and burnouts. You are getting very smart people, very smart, highly educated people who are here. They still came here for a reason. They're still getting something out of it. Because you have the character of Annie, who was an overachiever who became an Adderall addict and is now at community college getting her degree, and she's reformed herself. I find that's interesting. For me personally, I like that character because, yeah, I'm an overachiever. I was pushed a little too far. Never did drugs or anything, but honestly, I could have seen myself going down that path if I was continuously pushed, if I was pushing myself a little further, if I was pushed by some intense authority figures, let's say, a little harder. I was very lucky, but I see a lot of myself in that character. It's like, that's what I could have been had things gone a little more sour, or had I not had more of a grounding presence. I like, with other smart characters, you also do get the character Abed. He obviously has this very deep insight into pop culture, which, hey, it's useful. You can do a lot with that. And he's got the most insight into the other characters. That's because he always has a reference point for every single person, which is great. Also, hey, you get Donald Glover before he really took off, so he is so talented and so brilliant. Donald Glover, playing Troy, the former prom king who lost his scholarship in a keg stand. Boy, good God, what a talent. Comedic talent, dramatic talent. He was actually a writer for 30 Rock while he was still living in his college dorm, so, dude, prodigy. Jealous of him. I was so happy he's doing so well. I'm just happy this whole cast is doing so well. And I like that you get a variety of characters who are at different points in life but do come together. I think that speaks to me a lot. A lot of my friends are older, but I also get along with kids. You get older characters within Shirley, who's a divorcee former alcoholic, played by the amazing Yvette Nicole Brown, who's funny and talented. And you get Pierce, the guy who's constantly coasting, played by Chevy Chase, who I've heard is fallen out with the crew. But he's an interesting character too. Pierce's character. First time around, I hated that character. Well, obvious reasons. He's a jerk. He's stuck in his ways. He doesn't treat everyone well. But second watching, I still don't agree. I obviously still hate the horrible things he says to the women, to gay people, really to most everybody. But behind that, I do see a character who's genuinely hurting, feels left out, feels left behind, and does make attempts to get in with this group, who is making attempts to connect with people. They're horribly, horribly misguided, but there is a lot of comedy that comes out of him, even though he's usually the butt of the joke, and oftentimes for very good reason. I think this is a show, if you like pop culture, if you like insights into humanity, I like that you can get an insight into a variety of people, and the more life experience you get, you can definitely categorize, okay, you're this kind of person, you're this kind of person. Obviously, it's not going to reflect everything that's out there, but you do get a nice mix of different kinds of people you can meet in life, and how everyone, no matter where you are, wherever you came from, you can end up in the same place, whether that's for the better or for the worse. And it's a great show. Very insightful to humanity, and I'm a huge, huge fan. So, there you go.